With your permission, Chairman, I'd like to do a quick tally. How many of you heard at least once about Mars Innovation? Well, I'm encouraged. How many think that they know exactly what we are doing? Well, the reason I do that is because of the fact that it's not only about innovation, it's also about marketing. How about it, Mark? I think that in an era that we all rely heavily on internet and everything goes on the internet, and we have a website and we do a monthly newsletter and we publish all sorts of press releases, I still believe that we have been behind the curtain, and that's a problem to the economy. Because something like Mars Innovation, which is a phenomenal approach to how you overcome the burden of where we are, and I'll explain it in a minute, has to be coming to the awareness of everybody. Having mentioned bringing to the awareness, I want to use the opportunity and to commend you, Kelly, for all the hard work you do in terms of education and really bringing the accomplishments to the awareness of everybody. Absolutely phenomenal, all the meetings and everything. Even though the title of our session is about the deficits and what's lacking, since the holidays are rapidly coming, I want to suggest a more optimistic approach to the situation. And those of you who know me know that I came about 2 years ago. I keep saying a year ago, but actually almost 2 years ago from Israel. And Israel, to be able to bring itself to the awareness, wrote a book called Israel Startup Nation. I think last month I stood in this place and suggested that Canada can start the first chapter. Today I want to suggest that Canada can start writing already the second and the third chapter of Canada Startup Nation, without a doubt. By the way, John, you and I spent 2 days in trying to figure out what needs to be done, and I was in charge of brain research. I was listening to Paul, and I was suggesting, how about if in 5 years we will offer to the world an artificial brain? At any rate, I was asked to share with you highlights about Mars Innovation, and I just realized that we already have competition because HIRCA is almost there, so we got to be very careful. However, between HIRCA, Mars Innovation, and everything else, let's call it experiment. But unlike any other experiment, this experiment is not allowed to fail. It makes a lot of sense, and it is not allowed to fail. So basically, what is it? When you look at the scientific qualification of Canada, by all metrics, it's part of the Ivy League of the world, without a doubt. And I know a lot about University of Toronto, Ryerson, and York now that they joined us, but I also know a little bit about the others from British Columbia all the way to Halifax, and without a doubt, the science is top-notch. But when you look at the outcome of science, and you compare it to the situation in the Boston area and in the Bay Area, there's something missing, and Mars Innovation comes to close the gap. Now, so that you understand what someone like myself, with the title of a tech transfer officer, is entitled to do, I will describe to you the scenario. In the good old days, in the 80s, if we had a great idea, all we needed to do is put it in a one glossy page, send it to Mark Levonen with a letter saying, Mark, please develop the product and send us royalties in due course. In the last decade, Mark will send a letter back saying, Rafi, this is really very exciting, but it's so early that I don't know what to do with it. How about if you continue to invest in the development and come back to us in 10 years? This is really the challenge. And the challenge we used to call chasm, now we call it the valley of death. Basically, great ideas falling off the cliff, not knowing how to cross or how to even build the bridge. So to be able to overcome the chasm, the federal government came up with a brilliant idea. They call it CESAR, which holds for Center of Excellence for Commercialization and Research, basically suggesting that we have to close the gap between us, the Bay Area, and the Boston area through, believe it or not, federal funding. So all of us who are the CESARs got $15 million from the feds for 5 years. Luckily enough for me, the members of Mars Innovation, which is University of Toronto, the 10 affiliated hospitals, and a few others, Ryerson, OCAD, York, and even the research center from Thunder Bay, which I can tell you where it is, are part of the membership, which we call Mars Innovation. Basically, the way it operates is that everybody is entitled to send their ideas to us. We call it disclosure of intellectual property. And our assignment is to make sure that things happen. Now, reality check will say, and that's a part of the game, is that if you see a certain amount of IP that's disclosed to you, probably 10% should get the attention. Now, at least in my case, back in Israel, when I represented one institute, I'd see 20 to 30 disclosures every year. 10% is 2 or 3. Half of it fails down the road, so we are left with one. That one, if Mark doesn't like it, we are left with nothing. However, when you do a paradigm change, like we do here with Mars Innovation, we start seeing anywhere between 400 and 500 disclosures every year. And by the way, so that you know, this is higher than Stanford and even MIT. Then 10% is 40. Of the 40, we can allow to have a very rigorous attrition and still remain with something. Now, some of you will say, what's the big deal? So you have 20 ideas, and now you run with it, and you send it to Sanofi Pasteur, Pfizer, and get the money back. Well, not so easy. Not so easy simply because of the fact that they don't like to make commitment to a singular situation. In the past, that was the case. So the beauty of getting to see all this opportunity is that Mars Innovation can also do what we do. I mean, we hate to say it loudly, but we still do it, the cherry pick. But once we do the cherry pick, we also find nice ways to bundle technologies into something that looks much better and creates a critical mass of presence. And I can tell you that in less than 2 years, we've already been able to do quite a bit. Number one, we created a cluster in oncology. A company called Triphase got launched last week because the board of OICR, the Ontario Institute of Cancer Research, and you have the honor of being on the board, right? I kept getting back to him, and the board of Mars Innovation recognized the opportunity of being stronger by getting together, and Triphase is a new accelerator that eventually will allow us to send to industry better quality molecules that could become useful drugs for cancer treatment. Number two, everybody knows that Canada has a lead position in what we call regenerative medicine. That's everything that has to do with stem cells, everything that has to do with tissue engineering, and on and on and on, just in terms of the numbers. In Canada, I should say in Ontario, there is close to 80 groups who are committed, seriously committed to that space. That is twice as much as in the Boston area, which in the United States is viewed as the leader in that space. So we certainly have the foundations, but we need to be able to show a critical mass. So we created a new entity, which is called CCRM, Center for Commercialization of Regenerative Medicine. I cannot disclose to you what it's going to do to us, but there's going to be a happy end to the effort. But clearly comes to show again that when we get together and when we bundle technologies, people start to pay attention to us, and that really is the name of the game. So without extending it for too long, I will say that we can start writing a chapter, and I have a very strong feeling that the private sector, the academic element, and even the government are willing to pay attention to us, provided that we tell a good story. Thank you.